Welcome to our channel, and more importantly, welcome to another free stock market breakdown video that we release every Sunday at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. In these breakdowns, we will cover the latest news developments that will affect the market, as well as break down the broad market and other instruments for opportunities that may be brewing this upcoming week. Remember to drop a thumbs up on this video and subscribe to our channel if you like the content. Also remember to turn on our channel notifications so that you are notified every time we upload a video. Follow us on social media to keep up with our educational content and so you never miss any important market news. All important links to our channels are in the description below. So let's get right into it. So the only news story that we're going to cover this week that I feel as though has significance going forward is the recent news that came out on Monday about Pfizer's experimental vaccine for the virus was shown to be more than 90% effective in initial results. Now, me as a person that follows the medical industry, I know that this is nothing really to get enthusiastic about, but this sent the market soaring on the onset of this news. So although I'm cautiously optimistic, this has opened up quite a few trading opportunities in my opinion in the majority of the markets, because this, according to a lot of economists, is very positive news for the market, because everybody's essentially been waiting on this news as well as the stimulus news to come out in order to send the markets higher. Now, if you've been following my videos over the past few weeks that I've been doing them, you'll probably remember me mentioning on multiple occasions that any news that will come out about a vaccine would undoubtedly have a positive effect on the markets. And when we take a look at our charts, you'll see a little bit more of what I was talking about, because that played out exactly as how we had anticipated it. So moving across to our charts, here we have the S&P 500. And as you can see, we had a trading idea from last week that did not play out, and we did not get a successful entry for what I would have thought would have happened, which was a retest of this blue 4-hour level here. Instead, we got a push above this descending level here, which was acting as a wedge formation, which is a very bullish thing for markets on a technical level. But of course, this breakout occurred due to the news that came out about the vaccine. So what I'm anticipating from here is that I'm going to wait a few days and just see what happens in the markets and see if we continue to push higher and find a better entry, because I definitely think that this trade has ran away from us. What makes this trade to the upside a lot more probable is the fact that we got quite a clear retest of this level, and definitely speaking, we could see more upside because of this. But like I said, I'm going to wait for a better entry because I don't see any clear high probability trading opportunities based upon where price is currently. So moving across to our NASDAQ 100 chart, I do think that there is one trading opportunity that we could potentially get involved in the upcoming week if this entry plays out for us. So like most of the global equities this week, the NASDAQ also had a massive push up on the break of the vaccine news, and that opened up this entry that I'm about to show you now for us to potentially take if the criteria come on side. So as you can see here, I've highlighted this descending level that price has respected over the past couple of weeks, and right now we're right up against this zone. I've also drawn in the gray supply and demand zone that is protecting this zone, and if we have any sort of break, close and retest of this zone, this pattern that I have highlighted by my arrow here, then this will count as an entry for us, and it is a trade that I would definitely be taking. The other thing to note is the fact that we had this fake out here and then we immediately came back below this descending level, but we got a retest of this important 4-hour level that we had not seen previously. And so I definitely think that this is the reason why we had the fake out, is because price tends to respect certain levels, this blue level being one of those levels. And because we had a significant push up on the election news 2 weeks ago and we did not have a retest of this zone, I feel like price came back to retest this zone just because of price action respecting these technical levels. But now we've had that successful retest of this blue zone, as well as a successful retest of the ascending level that we've been respecting for quite a while now. I do think that this next break above this gray area will send us significantly higher. So me being a conservative trader and knowing that we have quite a lot of real estate ahead of us, price is basically unblocked up here because we would be setting all-time highs. There's no doubt in my mind that if we have a successful break, close and retest of this gray level, that we could be seeing up to the 12,700 level as our first take profit level, and I also have my second take profit target up at around the 13,000 level. So I'm not going to go into any specific detail about how I determine these two take profit levels, because that's a lot of quantitative analysis and technical analysis that I conduct to determine my long-term targets when we're setting all-time highs. But just know that this is where I will be looking for price to settle once we have this push up, which I'm expecting. So I'd definitely be taking a conservative entry and waiting for a couple of candles to show me that price is willing to move higher before I get involved in the trade after we have the successful retest of this zone. So I'm going to be posting to my social media all about this trade all week if it happens to play out for us. So just keep an eye out on my Instagram so that you guys know exactly when I get involved in this trade. So moving across to the world's favorite commodity, which is gold. As you can see, we had quite an interesting set of price action happen last week in gold. So if you remember in my weekly breakdown last week, when we had this move here, I was saying that I wasn't very convinced of this move because the fundamentals just did not add up. And right at the start of the week, we had a huge crash in gold, sending it back below to around the 1850 level as everybody got stopped out on the way down here. And the only opportunity that I saw was this short. However, we did not get an entry just because of how aggressive this move was to the downside. So always remember, when we have moves like this in gold, gold is very prone to having fake outs above significant levels like this red daily one that we have here. So I hope you guys didn't get caught on the wrong side of this trade, because it would have ended up in a lot of pain for you. But anyway, now gold has somewhat recovered. And because we've had quite this significant crash, I'm definitely expecting a retest of our daily level. If you take a look at this level and we go across, you can see just how often price action has continued to respect this red level. And I don't think that that's going to change anytime soon. To make matters even better and increase our probability is the fact that we've had a break close and retest on a minor zone. And so what I'm looking from this point is for the continuation to push us up to the 1910 level and retest this red zone. Now I can't really tell what's going to happen from here because gold has been acting quite illogical over the past couple of months. But I do believe that this trade idea should play out at the early part of next week, just because we've already had our successful entry. So essentially this is what I'm looking to happen. And we've already had the break, which is this section of the move. We've had the close and we've had the retest, and now this continuation up is what I'm expecting to happen next, and that's where we book our profits. So additionally, in gold, I'm going to cover the trade idea that I posted on my social media channels for you guys that follow me on social media. So essentially what we was waiting for was a break of this 1860 level, a close below it, and then a retest of the level for a continuation down to around the 1800 level. Now obviously we did not get our entry criteria come on side, and I did highlight in the trade idea that we could see a potential push up to this zone before continuing lower. Now I do emphasize that we must wait for this entry to come on side in order to increase our probabilities, because if we took any shorts from this point, right now we would have either got stopped out or we would be in a serious loss right now because we didn't wait for our entry to come on side. So still stay patient, and if this entry comes on side, I will again post this trade signal to my social media, so just keep an eye out for that. And as promised, for you guys that trade the currency markets, I have the USD JPY, which is what we covered last week, and I actually had come up with a trade idea for this pair for you guys to take. However, we did not get our entry, and price just shot right through our resistance and up to our take profit level without having a retest of this zone. So naturally, I just did not execute the trade because my entry criteria did not come on side. But where price is currently, we're also sitting at another peculiar spot where I'm expecting a retest of this zone and us to continue back lower. So definitely whenever I see huge momentum pushes like this, I get very excited because 9 times out of 10 there's some form of reversal that's incoming, no matter what instrument it is. Markets just simply don't like volatility like this, and as a result I like to capitalize when we trade on the way down. So as a result, I'm going to wait for the retest of this zone simply as I'm laying out here like this, and then I'm going to wait for the continuation back down to around the 104.38 level. So if we get this entry come on side, I'll be taking this trade and I'll be posting it to my social media as well. What adds confluence to this trade is the fact that I feel as though the dollar is going to be weak this week, because if we get any sort of push up in stocks, that is going to add confluence to our trade. Remember, during risk on sentiment, as stocks are pushing higher, this usually weakens the dollar. So if we get our entry and stocks are pushing higher, then there's quite a high probability that the USD JPY will also start to head back lower again. So keep an eye out on my social media for when I post this trade idea if the entry criteria come on side. With that being said, this concludes our market breakdown for this week. Thank you to all who took the time out to watch the video, whether it be in part or the entirety of the video. Remember, I post these breakdown videos on a weekly basis, so subscribe to our channel so that you don't miss out whenever we upload. I also post educational content that is suitable for both beginner and experienced traders throughout the week to both this channel and to our social media pages. Those links are in the description below. Also, if you found this video useful, support us by dropping a like on the video so that the YouTube algorithm helps us reach more people. Thanks and peace out.